Here's a fast foundation review of the new One Size Turn Up the Base Beauty Blur Balm. Today in the One Size Turn Up the Base, I'll be using shade Light 1. And I wanted to bring you up really close here because this is a pore blurring foundation. So I wanted you to be able to see right up front how quickly it starts to blur your pores. Now I'm going to give you 3 tips today that I found while working with this foundation, but first let's cover the basics. This costs $33 US for 1 fluid ounce or 30 ml. It's a medium coverage, natural finish, and it comes in 18 inclusive shades. It's oil-free, alcohol-free, long-wearing, and supposedly good for acne and blemishes. So as for tip number 1, I'm going to say that this works best with either fingers or a brush. Now you know that I love my beauty sponges and that's usually my preferred method for applying a foundation, but I just found with this one that it was fingers or brush that worked best. It's still doable with a beauty sponge, but you want to make sure to really squeeze all of the water out of your sponge before using it, because this formula has silicones in it, which sometimes don't play well when they mix with water. Now, whenever I'm trying out a new foundation, I like to try to compare it to one that maybe you've used before so that you can get an idea of how it feels and what it works like. But honestly, this one was so unique. It was hard to think of one that kind of matched this formula. The best I could come up with was it kind of feels like a combination of Benefit's The Porefessional Primer and the old Becca Ultimate Coverage Complexion Cream, if you remember that foundation. Now the complexion cream from Becca was kind of thick when it first came out, but you just needed a little bit of it. So this kind of reminded me of that texture a little bit. But I was really excited by this one because it's hard to stump me on that. I've used so many foundations, so it's really exciting when something comes out that's new and different. So as we do a close-up here, I want to bring you to tip number 2, which is once you get it on, don't mess with it. Don't try to keep going over it or brushing over it or using a beauty sponge over it. Because of the consistency, it can start to pick it up if you keep messing with it. So the wonderful thing about this is it goes on really quickly and then it's set. And for my 3rd tip, if you have normal to dry skin like I do, I suggest using an illuminating powder after you put it on, or no powder, and then using a hydrating setting spray to finish. I found that combination gave my skin a really nice glow. Now, if you have extra dry skin, dry patches, this might be a little bit tough to pull off. For everyone else though, I suggest getting yourself to Sephora and getting a sample. I really enjoyed this and I'm curious to hear what you think of it too. Let me know in the comments below, and as always, thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing.